Okay, so today we are talking about the 2021 NFL rookie quarterbacks and their expectations heading into the season. So, just a disclaimer, we're only going to be talking about quarterbacks who I think could start at some point in the year. So, your Kyle Trask, your Kellen Mond, your Sam Ellingers, they're not going to be on this list. Now, Davis Mills could start, so I guess if I have time, I'll throw him in there at the end. But these are going to be guys who were really picked in the first round and I believe can start. So without further ado, let's start off with the number one overall pick. The Jacksonville Jaguars selected Trevor Lawrence, quarterback from Clemson. This is one of the easiest prospects to talk about, I think, almost ever, because the day that Trevor Lawrence picked up the football was a day that he was basically locked in as the number one overall pick. It wasn't a matter of if, it was just who he was going to. And I really do think that Trevor Lawrence is going to be in a good situation in Jacksonville. I actually do believe that. Yeah, he's going to have a first-time head coach in Urban Meyer. But I think that also helps him because Trevor Lawrence coming from a system like Clemson with Dabo Swinney, having a coach like Urban Meyer who comes from a similar situation there in college, been there, done that with a lot of quarterbacks for a long time, maybe it's not going to translate to the NFL the best, but as far as having a head coach who he can rely on, as far as him and translating, I think Urban Meyer will help Trevor a lot in that aspect, if you get what I'm trying to say there. Basically what I mean is because of having somebody like Dabo Swinney for so long, Urban Meyer is basically going to be pretty similar to Dabo in the respect of both big-time college coaches at big-time programs. So even if it doesn't translate the best, they're going to be similar as far as head coaches, if you get what I'm saying. So Trevor is coming into Jacksonville, and he's got some weapons. Laviska Shenault, I think, is a pretty good receiver who kind of surprised a lot of people, and I think could really take a next step. DJ Chark is somebody who I really, really like. I think he's very underrated. And for Trevor, I think those are two really good receivers. And listen, they just drafted Travis Etienne. And I know they have him playing receiver. I don't buy that, honestly. I don't think he's going to play receiver. And I know Robinson's a really good running back. But Travis Etienne, you're drafting to be a running back. Come on. I really don't buy that they drafted him to play receiver. I think they're going to try to use him in a Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara type role, which I think is best for him. But to me, it makes sense to pair him and Trevor up because of their relationship and how successful they were together at Clemson. So, and another thing, we talk about Tim Tebow and we joke about it, but I really do think the fact that Tim Tebow was such a successful college quarterback who struggled in the NFL, had his time of success, to what extent you want to say he was successful, but I think having Tim Tebow there as a mentor is going to help Trevor just because he's been there, done that, and he understands the game and how it translates to some extent. So I think Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville, he's going to be the starter day one. He's going to be the franchise quarterback, and I think he's going to be one of, if not the best quarterbacks in the NFL for a long time to come. So I'm excited to see what Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer can do down there in Jacksonville. So with the second pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets took Zach Wilson, quarterback from BYU. Now, Zach Wilson is kind of an interesting situation here, right? He kind of came on a little bit late, jumped up draft boards for a long time, and then eventually became the number 2 overall pick. And the New York Jets, they had to take a quarterback here. Sam Darnold was not the guy, okay? He wasn't. And sure, the Jets have surrounded Zach Wilson much better already than they've done with Sam Darnold over a few years. But I think Zach Wilson, when it comes to talent, is a way, way, way better quarterback. And I think he's actually going to do pretty good things with the Jets. I don't think they're going to be a good team this year, but when it comes to winning football games, they're going to win more games than they did last year. And I know that's an easy thing to say, But there are a lot of question marks. Rookie quarterback, rookie head coach. You're rebuilding the offensive line. They drafted Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC. He's going to play left guard. So for Zach Wilson, that's a really good thing because now you have Mekhi Becton, who is just a specimen of a human being, playing at left tackle. And then you have Elijah Vera Tucker, who's going to play at left guard for you. So his blind side should be well protected. The Jets also took Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss. That's going to be another weapon for Zach Wilson. And listen, I don't know how good the Jets are going to be, but what they've done this offseason is go out and get talent. And not only just get talent, but where they need it. They go out and they get Lawson from the Bengals, and they draft their quarterback. They fix the offensive line, or they're continuing to add pieces on that offensive line, add another weapon. They're doing a lot of good things there with the Jets, and it's all about seeing, if Rob Saleh can do this. And I think he can. I'm a believer in him. But Zach Wilson, I think this season is going to be an exciting player to watch. How good he'll be, I don't know, because, listen, he came from BYU. And competition question is a real thing to ask. So we'll see with Zach Wilson. I am excited about his future. And like I said, the Jets have already done a very good job of surrounding him with talent to get the absolute best out of him that they can. So with the number 3 pick in the NFL draft, the San Francisco 49ers selected not Mac Jones, but Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. This was the right pick as far as Mac Jones versus Trey Lance. The 49ers make a trade up to the number 3 pick, give up a pretty good haul. They're taking a quarterback. Yes, Jimmy Garoppolo is there. Yes, I do think Jimmy Garoppolo is a pretty good to decent quarterback in the NFL, but the 49ers are an extremely talented football team. Their defense carried them to the Super Bowl, and if Jimmy Garoppolo makes one throw, they very well could have won the Super Bowl. So when you look at the guys who were available, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and Mac Jones, I think out of that list, Trey Lance probably has the most upside out of the 3. And for the 49ers, you don't trade all the way up to get somebody like a Mac Jones, right? As great as Mac Jones is, he's not got the upside that a Trey Lance does. Trey Lance, to me, is the perfect fit for this Kyle Shanahan offense. He's a guy who's extremely athletic, so if you need to, he can get some yards with his legs. He's a guy who needs to get polished up as a passer, but in this offense, a lot of rollouts, getting him outside the pocket, he's going to be able to hit guys. And I think Trey Lance, as he develops, could turn into one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I see a lot of Patrick Mahomes and Trey Lance, a guy who needed to get in a good system with a good coach. And not saying that Patrick Mahomes had to develop a whole lot, but Trey Lance, I think, has a lot of tools to get the job done and be a really, really good quarterback. And I'm pumped about the 49ers. I think they are going to be a really good football team, even if Jimmy Garoppolo is the starting quarterback. I think the defense, you get guys back healthy, they can really, really fight for that NFC spot in the Super Bowl. I think they have the talent. Now, I know, with Green Bay and the Aaron Rodgers question, that is going to prop the 49ers up, in my opinion. And if Trey Lance is their guy and they go with the upside over Jimmy Garoppolo, man, Trey Lance can be really good. I don't know when he'll start. I think he will end up starting this season. I know they talked about wanting to kind of ease him into things, but I don't even know if Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be there to start the season. So we'll see with that. I think the clips and stuff you've seen from camp, Trey Lance looks really, really good. And, there is the small school question, but you can't deny Trey Lance's ability. Go watch this kid's highlights. He is absolutely incredible. So if I had to guess, I would guess by the midway point in the season he's starting. I just think that with these guys, you got to get them on the field, and you don't you don't take a quarterback as high as 3 not to start him, even if you have somebody like a Jimmy G. So I expect Trey Lance to get a lot of time this season, and I expect big things. So with the number 11 pick, the Chicago Bears trade up and select Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields. And if you know me, you know I'm an Ohio State fan, so I've seen a lot of Justin Fields. This is going to be the pick that when a lot of people look back at it, they're going to go, man, I can't believe he slipped to number 11. The Chicago Bears trade up and steal Justin Fields. Listen, he has his concerns, right? And we've talked about this. He holds on to the ball a little bit too long. I think he's got a really long release. And, you can talk about if that hurts him or what, but I don't know. It's just nitpicking things, right? And I think his accuracy could be a little bit better. But when it comes to just a tough kid who's going to be able to make plays with his legs, he's going to be able to hit guys. There's a lot of talent there in Chicago, and people forget how good this Bears team can be. Just a few years ago, everybody was saying they're just a quarterback away. And Mitch Trubisky obviously didn't work out. They bring in Andy Dalton. They say he's quarterback 1, QB 1. I don't think so. I think Justin Fields is going to start at least by week 5, at least. I won't be surprised if Andy Dalton gets the start at the beginning of the season, but Justin Fields, he's got to start. I mean, he's going to be incredible. I think he looks pretty good already in just some of the things that I've seen, and I think him and Allen Robinson are going to be really good together. I've been a big fan of Robinson. He's kind of an under-the-radar receiver who nobody really talks about, but I think Fields and him, I think they're going to be on the same page. I think that's just, I think that they're going to work together pretty well. So as far as the expectations for Justin Fields, I don't know how good the Bears are going to be because it's really hard to tell. We had super high expectations for them. And I don't know what their future looks like, but Justin Fields, I believe, is the Bears' starting quarterback for years to come, and I'm excited to see what he does this year. So with the 15th pick in the NFL draft, the New England Patriots select quarterback out of Alabama, Mac Jones, and this was probably the least surprising, or one of the least, behind Trevor Lawrence, and I guess you could say Zach Wilson, but Mac Jones just looked like a Patriots quarterback, right? I mean, he just looked like a Patriots quarterback. And will he start? I don't know, because Cam Newton, we've been hearing these stories about how COVID affected him. And listen, if Cam Newton can't get back to somewhat of the old Cam Newton, and I don't mean old Cam Newton as an MVP, but I mean just being a good to decent quarterback. I mean, he was not good last year. Mac Jones will be the starter. If Cam cannot get back to being himself, Mac Jones will get the starting job, and I think his skill set really, really fits what they want to do there down in New England. I think they want to get back to this style of offense that they've ran with Brady for so long. And I really, really wonder if McDaniels looks at Mac Jones and says, that's the guy I want to roll with. I don't know what Belichick thinks, but I think when it comes to Josh McDaniels, he is looking at Mac Jones and he's saying, that is my new Tom Brady. He's got the skill set. And it's not like he has the greatest arm or the greatest accuracy. He's just smart. He's just smart. And I think that fits the Patriots system so much. They went out and spent a ton of money. If they get Julio Jones and Cam Newton even remotely struggles in camp, Mac Jones will be the starter day one. I don't know how the Patriots, I think they're giddy almost to get Mac Jones on the field. I really do. That's it for me. Let me know your thoughts. Who's going to be the best quarterback in the draft? What's your expectations for each one of these guys? And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.